Minnesota Twins, Oakland A's. There is some smoke going on between these two teams heading into the trade deadline. There's been reports that the Twins are scouting the A's high A team in particular. We're going to get into that a little bit. What's up? This is Tom Froming. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. We're going to discuss this article at The Athletic. I'm not going to give too much away because it's a subscription-based service, and I want you to support The Athletic. But this was a really cool article and sort of flexes the muscles of The Athletic, showing off some things that they can do that's unique as a sports-only unified platform, having 4 writers, 2 Oakland writers, 2 Minnesota writers combined on this article. Dan Hayes and Aaron Gleeman, of course, from the Minnesota Twins side. So let's get right into this. So again, this is a pretty meaty piece. I'm just going to scroll through to show you what is out there on it. But there's quite a few Twins connections that are being thrown out there that Oakland may be interested in. Kind of starts off with Taylor Rogers and Caleb Thielbar saying that Oakland could really use a left-handed relief pitcher. And then does throw out Hansel Robles as well as a potential bullpen fit, even though he's a righty. But it seemed like the consensus was that the most likely guy that Oakland would be interested in is Nelson Cruz. They haven't got much from their DH. So Cruz could be the guy that Oakland's most interested in. What are their Twins interested in? I was really happy to see this. This is one thing I will give up from this article. What kind of prospects will the Twins be looking for? And a Derek Falvey quote here shared that I think we'd always lean toward having more major league ready caliber players coming back just because you know more about them too. I think where this team is, they don't need to blow it up and restart. I think they can be competitive in 2022. Might as well give yourself a shot and see what happens at least. So getting guys who are closer to the majors, along with, certainly knowing more about those guys, having them potentially turn around and contribute could be huge. However, one of the things that's kind of a bummer about this piece is when they go into, the primary pieces that are expected to be available to the A's that are the most attractive seem to be their bats, their position players. You certainly don't want to rule anybody out, but I will definitely be hoping for pitching. It is so clear that the Twins are so far away in terms of having enough pitching right now. Yes, they've had a lot of injuries, both in the majors and in the minors. But that is, it's not like that's a thing that's going to solve itself. All of these guys in the minors not pitching right now, well, they're not going to end up logging many innings in this season here. That's going to mean they're probably going to be a little bit more careful with them next year. So you need to, even if you love all these guys, all your Durans, your guys like Cole Sands is hurt right now too, tons and Matt Cantorino. Even if you love all those guys, you have to be honest with yourself about their ability to potentially contribute next year. As you look ahead to how you're going to fix this. So I think even no matter how in love you are with the Twins pitching in the system right now, they need more guys in the mix. They have like nothing at the major league level, comparatively speaking to most teams. It's rough. I mean, I don't got to tell you, you know what I'm talking about. But even in the minor league level, it's been unfortunate that some of the most exciting guys are not being able to put together full seasons this year. So there were pitchers mentioned, certainly a couple buy low options of intrigue. AJ Puck, who doesn't do it for me. He's 26 now, but he was, a former number 6 overall pick. This is a guy who was ranked 17th in all of baseball on prospect lists heading into 2020. But he's down in AAA and pitching really poorly right now out of the bullpen. So I don't know if I want to fix her upper. And then Jesus Luzardo was kind of similarly, but he's a little bit more attractive to me. He was number 9 preseason in 2020. He's got some MLB time. Both those guys do. But he's also struggling in AAA. But at least he's in the rotation, not making like long starts. I think he's pitching like 4 or 3 innings in the starts that he's made down there. But he's only 23, so you kind of can hope for him to maybe turn some things around quicker. I'm not sure that Oakland's going to make either of those guys available, to be honest, depending on what the Twins are willing to give up. Because, again, these were some of the top prospects in all of baseball. So you could see on their end where they're not really wanting to give them up. But I could see on the Twins end not really being super interested in those two guys because they're both kind of a mess right now. Editing Tom here. I just wanted to be real clear. It doesn't seem like the A's would make Puck or Luzardo available in a Nelson Cruz trade. They'd be looking for maybe making those guys available for non-rental types, maybe a Taylor Rogers and Nelson Cruz trade or a Jose Barrios type. So that's the other problem with trying to acquire one of those two. The price is going to be high. The name that I kind of came up with, who wasn't mentioned in this article at all, Brady Feigl, who was drafted in the 5th round in 2018. They have him down in Double A, and there may be a reason behind that. He's 25 and in Double A, so that's not super encouraging just at face value. A guy who hasn't kind of emerged any further from there. I'm wondering if maybe they're kind of protecting him. I mentioned how Puck and Luzardo aren't pitching very well down in AAA. Oakland's AAA team is in Las Vegas. I'm guessing that must be a really bad pitcher environment, because I looked through some of their other players pitching on the pitching staff down there in Vegas, and like nobody's really pitching all that well. And the guy whose numbers are jumping off the page here, he's got a 4.12 ERA, 1.244 WHIP, and 9.4 K per nine and a 2.8 walk per nine. That comes out to a 3.35 strikeout to walk ratio. That is pretty nice. And that's a number that he's looked really good at. That's pretty much in line with his career numbers in the minors and in college. So seems like a high floor, a low ceiling type of guy. Maybe not the kind of guy you can get really excited about or that you would be targeting in a rebuild. But I think that's exactly the kind of guy the Twins should be going after now. Now, I don't know that much about this guy, but I'm saying his profile maybe seems to, he seems like he's probably going to be available in a trade that's going to improve Oakland's major league club. They seem to be kind of preferring some of their other guys to him, but also somebody who's shown some things. Jump over here from Baseball Reference to Fangraphs. Their Oakland A's prospect list for this year, he actually ranked 16th on their list. That's much higher than some other outlets have him. And kind of to hammer home that point of what kind of a profile pitcher he is, they kind of say, he's a high probability 40-man piece with average control of 3 pitches. So, that's a very good floor to build someone up from, hopefully, and keep him improving. And good ground ball rates as well. So, no, this isn't a diamond in the rough that you can envision potentially polishing up into a top of the rotation starter. But I don't know that you're going to get that for, your relievers, your Nelson Cruzes anyway. And like we said, with Puck and Luzardo, those are kind of those guys you can dream on. But they also are starting to kind of show some warts. Now, maybe Feigl would show warts if you bumped him up into Vegas as well, and we're just not seeing that. That's certainly fair to speculate that might happen. But again, I think this is an interesting guy that who's has a great foundation to build upon, and who seems like, they say right here on Fangraphs, he's almost certain to pitch in the big leagues at some point in 2022. Now, that doesn't mean, top of the rotation guy. Maybe he ends up even in being a bullpen guy. He does top out at 95, so it could be if you asked him to throw in shorter spurts, he could end up being a bullpen guy. Clearly, I think the Twins should be targeting starting pitching before relief pitching, but they can use all the help they can get right now. Okay, so that was thrown out in this piece from The Athletic. Again, this is a really meaty piece with a lot of good stuff that I did not mention. I would really, if you have The Athletic, go check this out. If you don't, subscribing to the TF Twins YouTube channel while you're at it. This is free. No, no paid subscription here. So, but again, thanks for checking this out. This has been Tom. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and let me know what you think about any of this stuff. Is there anybody from Oakland who kind of catches your eye? What are your expectations if the Twins trade Nelson Cruz, on what kind of a player that they should be getting back? We'll talk again soon.